Most people hear the word workflow and instantly think it's something complicated, technical, and probably not for them. But honestly, it's way simpler than people make it sound. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build your first AI workflow in under 10 minutes using Freepik Spaces. And we're not just making something random either. We're going to create a cinematic effect where the camera pushes into a wall mural of Times Square. And then suddenly we're inside a real scene like it came straight out of a film. So if you're completely new to this stuff, don't worry. I'm going to keep it super simple. And by the end of this video, you'll understand what a workflow actually is, how to connect the main node types in Freepik Spaces, and how to turn the start image into a cinematic animated result. Right now, we're inside Freepik, and the feature we're going to be using is called Freepik Spaces. So we're going to click on Freepik Spaces right here. And then to create a new space, we just click on the new space option here. So this is Freepik Spaces. And for your first workflow, we'll be keeping it clean. We'll be using only 5 nodes: a media node, a text node, an image generator node, another text node, and also a video generator node. And that's it. Simple enough to understand, but still powerful enough to get a proper result. So now the first thing is we're going to add the media node. And to add the media node, we'll click on this plus button here. As you can see, we have there's a lot of nodes that you can add here, which we'll be going through later on in other modules. But right now, we're going to be adding a media node. So with these options, you can either upload directly from your computer memory or from one of your generated assets. So for this example, we will be uploading from an asset. So we'll just upload this. So that's basically how to use the media node. You just upload. And if you have no idea of what you're going to be uploading, what else you can do is you can actually generate the image from scratch. And to do that, the first thing you'll be needing is a text node. So what you can do here, you can either click on this plus again, or you can just right click straight up and click on a text node where you will write the prompt which you want to use. Say for example, a wall mural of New York Times Square. So now that's exactly what you want. But to actually get the results like this, you need to connect this node. You click on this text node and you can connect it directly to an image generator node. And now we're going to click on the image generator node here. Set the aspect ratio to be 16:9 because this is for a YouTube video. And for this, I like Nano Banana Pro, so I will just go with Nano Banana Pro. And you just click generate. And for quality, you can either select 1K, 2K, or 4K. I find 2K to be okay. And we just click on run, and this will give us the mural that we need. But for the sake of this video, we will be using this already generated mural of New York Times Square. So while this is generating, we will go ahead with the video. So for this demo, my start image is a wall mural of Times Square. So this is basically where the video will start from. And I'm going to rename this one as a start frame just to keep things organized. So the result that we have here is not the best right now, but it's actually a good one. I actually like it, but I wanted something more simple like this to help with the transition. So we'll just put this to the side while we focus on our main video. After naming this, the next thing we're going to do is to add a text node. And to add a text node, we already went through that. You can either right click and click on the text node, and there we go. We have the text node, which I will just put right underneath this to have that there. So the text block is going to hold the prompt for the second frame, which is going to be the transformed version of the image. In other words, I want the image generator to take the same perspective from the mural, but turn it into a real life Times Square. I'm not asking it to make a completely different image. I'm asking it to preserve the perspective and composition, but upgrade it into a cinematic real world scene. And to generate that, we're just going to link this to another image generator. So I'll rename this to end frame prompt. And there we have it. Also, this is one of the reasons why workflows are nice, by the way. Instead of cramming everything into one place, you can separate each job into its own block. Then also group them into separate blocks as well. So I'm going to connect the start frame image into the image generator as a visual reference. And to do that, we'll just swing this and connect it to an image generator node. And also I'm going to connect the prompt node to this as a text reference, which will be the instruction. So we make it the same aspect ratio. So now this image generator has two things. Number one is the first frame and number two is the prompt. So the next thing I'm adding is another text node, but this time this one is for motion. So we're going to move on to the side here and add another text node. So we're going to rename this as motion prompt. And this part matters a lot, because if the motion prompt is too crazy, the whole thing starts looking messy. For something cinematic, simple is usually the best. It always wins. And now for the final block. So before we continue to the other parts, we're just going to add the prompts that we would like here. I have my ready-made prompt, which I will just paste into this block. And if you want to view the full prompt, you can also preview it to view the full prompt here. So we have that ready. And while we work on the other nodes, we're just going to run this. So we're going to have a few generations. So we're able to select the best one from all of them. So we'll just click on run. Now, if you actually want to learn this stuff properly and not just watch one video and leave, you can join my Skool community, which is absolutely free. And that's where I'll be sharing more workflows, breakdowns, extra resources, and deeper guidance for people who really want to get better with AI workflows and systems. So if you want to build better workflows, improve faster, and stay around people on the same path, the link is in the description. Join and introduce yourself in the community. So as you can see, after we clicked on the run, it automatically creates a new node, and this is called the list node. Basically, since we're generating more than one images, we want to be able to see all those images in one place. So this is called a list node, and it's going to list out all the images in one place, and we'll be able to view them all at the same time and select whichever one we want to preview. So now we have the motion prompt here. What we're going to do, we'll move the motion prompt down here. And now for the final block, which will be the video generator, we're going to connect this node to another node, which is called the video generator. Now that's the video generator node. And going forward from here, as you can see, this has a lot more input and output as well. So this is called the start image. As we mentioned earlier, we have the start image here. As you can see, we have the start image here, and we're just going to move this video generator up here. So this is what is going to be here as a start image. The mural painting will be the start image. So we connect it to the start image, and then the next one is the end image. So we don't have the end image yet, but for us to get the end image, we have to come back to this list and look at the images that has been generated for us, and we'll pick the one that's closely related to the start frame, right? And for this, we're going to name it the final result. So now we're going to go through these images one by one and see which one closely relates to this wall painting, the mural. We can bring any of these images, we can bring it to the side, just add to board, and then we can have it here. Don't worry, we won't be keeping all of this, as we'll be deleting them after we select the best results. So we click on add to board. So now what we're going to do is we're going to compare these images with this one. This is going to be our last frame. So now we have our first frame, our start frame, and our last frame. And to the final result, which is the video generator, we're going to input our prompt here. We're going to connect the last frame to the video generator here. All right. And now we need to select a video model to get the best result. For first and last frame, I really like Kling 3.0. I think it's the best model out there right now. So we're going to be using Kling 3.0. So now we'll paste the motion prompt into this box, which will be here. So now I'm going to run the video generator, and this is where the workflow pays off, because now we have a workflow here. So now we have the start frame, we have the last frame, and also we have the motion prompt. This controls the animation sequence. And here we go. We just click on this and then run the credits. So while that is processing, this is the main idea I want you to understand. The cinematic feel does not come from adding too many nodes. It comes from keeping the shot structure similar and then changing the word around it. And that's what makes it feel intentional. Now, this is the final result right here. And the reason I like this example is because it still keeps things beginner friendly, but it looks way more impressive than just doing a text to image prompt and calling it a day there. And there we go. This is a full beginner AI workflow built in Freepik Spaces. And the nice thing is, even though this is a simple setup, this structure is already teaching you the main logic behind workflows. You start with an input, you give it instructions, you generate an intermediate result, and then you turn that into a final output. That is the foundation. So if you're just getting started, this is exactly where I'd begin. Don't try to build an insane 20-node system on day one. Learn how the blocks work, learn how information flows through the canvas, and learn how to separate your input, prompt, and output. Once that clicks, everything else gets easier. And if you're a brand, a creator, or a business owner, and you want custom workflows built for your brand or for your product or for your business, you can reach out to me through the Skool community as well. Anyway, that's how to build your first AI workflow in another 10 minutes using Freepik Spaces. Try it for yourself, and I'll catch you in the next video.